Magic Cookie Bean on forgiveness.
Forgiveness is letting go of the hope that the past can be any different. Great day, Mr. Pumpkin! I'm so glad you came by!
Thank you, Magic! You always make me feel so welcome and so special. I'm having a bit of a dippy-do day, and I thought if I came over to visit with you, you'd undoubtedly cheer me up.
You're right, Mr. Pumpkin. You've come to just the right place where God's love abounds. Here in the rock garden, we can be still and feel His presence and be comforted by Him. God always listens to us. He may not always answer our prayers exactly when or how we want them to be answered, but He always listens. And I'm here to listen too. Tell me, Mr. Pumpkin, what's got you down?
Well, I'm having a hard time forgiving someone. I know what happened was unintentional, but it still hurts. I feel like this friend really let me down. I trusted him to take care of a very special toy, and he lost it. It fell into the brook, and because of the rain, the water was rushing by very fast, and he couldn't catch it or jump in to save it. So now it's gone. It was my favorite, and we can't get it back. Oh, I miss it so. It was my pal when I would sleep at night. I'd put it right up on my pillow. It was the very first toy I ever had.
Oh, Mr. Pumpkin, I'm so sorry to hear about this. Indeed, it is sad when we lose something we have become quite attached to. My hunch is your friend feels almost as badly about this situation as you do. You know, in the Bible many times we are reminded that forgiveness is one of the fruits of the Spirit. And just as it is written in the book of Matthew and in the Lord's Prayer, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. It's also like the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And in Matthew 6:14, God tells us if we forgive people for their trespasses, letting them go and giving up resentment, our Heavenly Father will forgive us also. God forgives us, and we need to forgive others too. And it sounds like this situation can't be changed. Your toy is most likely gone forever, so the sooner we let go and forgive, the better everyone will feel. Mr. Pumpkin, I've heard it said that forgiveness is letting go of the hope that the past can be any different. Perhaps this story will help you to feel better. Long ago, when my mommy's mom returned home from the hospital, she looked out her favorite window in the kitchen to admire the apple trees which had been standing in the backyard for generations. When she looked out on this particular day, she was shocked. They were gone! How did this happen? Well, as it turned out, while she was away, a man had come to the door and had told her husband that the apple trees were diseased and that for $500 he could cut them down and take them away. Her husband didn't know any different, and he trusted what this stranger was saying. So he wrote a check for $500, and down they came. Those apple trees had been there for over 100 years. My mommy had climbed them when she was a small child, and her daughter was even married under the branches of one of them, so you can imagine how disappointed she was to see them gone. And there was no way to bring them back. It's not like moving furniture. But my mommy's mother was a godly woman, and she knew the best way to react was to forgive. Nothing she could say or do would bring the apple trees back, so she let it go. That is true forgiveness, letting go of the hope that the past can be any different. Mr. Pumpkin, have you told your friend that you have forgiven him yet? I'd be willing to venture that once you do, not only will he feel so much better, but you will too. We all make mistakes at times, yet God knows our heart. God knows you were sad, but he also knows you are a kind and gentle kitty, and that you treasure friendships. True friendships cannot be bought. Like the teacup, things can happen and they can be broken. The glue that can mend a friendship and keep it lasting forever is forgiveness. Mr. Pumpkin, I know you will do the right thing and go to your friend immediately to offer forgiveness. You know, Mr. Pumpkin, I was just looking at my favorite toys. Here is one that every time I look at it, it reminds me of you. I would be honored if you would accept it as a token of this conversation and a remembrance of just how much I love you. Just like the items in my purple purse, they are there to remind me of special people and how much their friendship means to me. So even if this little toy gets lost, it's not the toy, it's the friendship that it represents, and you will have that forever. I love you, Mr. Pumpkin, and I'm so glad you came by.